I want to thank the board for its dedication to building a better future for the Socrates Foundation. By creating my position as Digital Curation Officer, the board has shown it has the foresight to appreciate the need for a strategy to turn our vast resources into properly curated and managed digital assets. Some of you may have a clearer picture of why this is important, but others are probably wondering just what this is all about. Digital curation looks at the whole life of the digital materials through selection, maintenance, collection, and archiving of digital assets. I can sum it up through the union of two simple concepts: long-term use with added value. Here at the Socrates Foundation, our mission is to be stewards of wisdom through the ages, and more than that, to share that wisdom with others. We have used our generous resources to build a wonderful collection of historical documents, diaries, letters, rare and important artifacts, and more modern forms of media, including recorded interviews with people who have lived through great moments, all with one common thread, that they captured some element of wisdom that is undeniable in its worthiness for addition to the human record. Here at our facility, we have made these resources available to students and scholars, and researchers and historians. And a few years ago, we began the process of digitizing the collection in an effort to go beyond our marble walls, to give the world a source for wisdom that is so sorely needed, but has unfortunately been like the wild, wild west. Loose or ill-defined standards for technical quality and formatting, along with a less than uniform application of metadata, have held us back from getting the most out of our efforts. But now, with a well-reasoned plan for curation, we can begin to do that in a way that elevates our collection far beyond what we've been able to do in the past. We'll achieve all of this by using an Open Archival Information System, or OAIS model, to ensure we have the right framework to properly adhere to our processes over time and allow us to construct the twin pillars that will support our digital curation. The first pillar, long-term use achieved through proper digital preservation. To understand it better, it might help to use Ann Kenny and Nancy McGovern's metaphor of the three-legged stool. McGovern and Kenny are pioneers in the digital preservation field, and they likened its three chief components to legs on a stool. Those legs are organization, which represents what is involved, technology, which defines how it gets done, and resources, which identifies how much it costs to do it well. When these components come together, we can confidently progress through the necessary steps to achieve long-term usefulness. Kenny and McGovern go on to define a developmental model for that, broken into 5 stages. Acknowledge that digital preservation is a local concern. Act by taking the initiative to undertake digital preservation. Consolidate our efforts by moving beyond projects and segueing into programs that support the continuing investment in preservation. Institutionalize by incorporating the larger environment, but we must position ourselves to both learn from and add to it. And finally, we need to externalize our efforts by collaborating and creating interdependency with other institutions. This might one day result in our foundation coordinating with other repositories to build towards some greater good. Without that first pillar, you can't have the second pillar. And it's that second pillar, added value through data curation, that makes it all worthwhile. Data curation gives us the opportunity to manage data in ways that improve discovery and analysis for users. It allows us the chance to consider human interaction through social signals to generate tailored results. It means actively managing the data lifecycle to manage threats to the data and mitigate issues of technical obsolescence. By properly planning, monitoring, and enforcement of assets through data governance, we ensure relevant data is more easily found. Among the chief benefits for us is the education of users through curated collections. For example, we have recordings of young German citizens just after World War II, some who were facing the horrors of concentration camps, while some were members of the Hitler Youth. Curating a collection that juxtaposes these two groups of young people gives researchers opportunities to understand how indoctrination on the scale perpetrated by the Nazis relies on propping one group up by keeping other groups down. People can hear the pain of the victims and appreciate how very differently things were going for their peers who were favored by the Nazis and thus spared the horrors of the Holocaust, only to have it all come crashing down around them. Work like that sounds like work worth doing. In the end, if we've done our preservation job well, we will have ensured long-term use through clear technical specifications that offer complete system requirements, extensive and thorough quality control to ensure our content continues to meet current technical requirements, robust metadata standards to ensure ease of reliable research, and production of verified master files stored safely for emergency recovery in the event of catastrophic data loss from our primary servers. If we've done our data curation job well, we will have ensured we will have added value through persistent access to data and improved quality, the ability to get more from our initial investment in the content and processes that support it, as well as faster access to data, greater reuse of data, and collaboration with other institutions. In summary, it's all about long-term use through digital preservation, added value through data curation, and improved stewardship evolving through digital curation.